Hi, I'm Jillian from Jillian Studio, and I am bringing you a how-to video, and today we're going to do how to do Pigeon. I love Pigeon. It's a great hip opener. It's great for sciatic pain. It's just great for the glutes. If you sit a lot, this posture is wonderful for you. If you walk a lot, this posture is wonderful for you. If you run, this posture is great for you. So it's just a all over wonderful posture just to help relax the low back, open up the hips, stretch through the glutes, get into the psoas. So I'm going to show you a few different ways to do Pigeon, and I want you to know that when you're in a yoga class and they say go to Pigeon and the Pigeon they show doesn't quite work for you, then you can always do one of the other Pigeons that I'll show today. So you always have options and modifications to make your body most relaxed and find the most benefit for your body. So you don't have to look like everyone else around you. You know, it's your body, your class. Do what's best for you. So I'm going to show first the traditional Pigeon, and typically you come into Pigeon from a downward facing dog, so finding that if you want, or you can come into Pigeon just from hands and knees, so you don't even have to go from downward facing dog. And some people start in child's pose and then go into it, so just know it all varies. So I'm going to do downward facing dog, lifting the hips and walking out through my heels, lifting my low belly, shoulder blades drop back and down. A soothing breath. And then from here, we need to get our right leg up and through. We're going to bring it in on the shin, in between the hands, and the left leg reaches long on the mat. And you can inhale and lift up on your mountain fingers. And what happens here is your hips should be level. So if you reach back, you can feel your right hip and then feel your left hip and make sure they're level. And if this left hip wants to really lift up high, you can put a block here or a blanket underneath that left hip, or you can even support your right hip and put a block or blanket under the right hip. It's whatever you need to keep your hips level. You lift up with an inhale, shoulders relax, and then as you exhale, you take your fold. And that's it. That's Pigeon. Now we want to engage our low belly to protect our back, and you breathe and relax into the hips. So I'm going to come out to show a few different things. Now, if you feel any knee pain, especially in your front knee, come on out of Pigeon. It might not be for you. Or something a lot of people do when they go into Pigeon, so I'm going to show you facing you so you can see. You let this foot slide in between, let the shin slide in between the hands, and then the foot's right underneath your hip. But the more flexible you get and the stronger you get, this ankle can move up towards the wrist. Okay, now this varies for everyone. So when I do a Pigeon, I'm about here, yeah, but some people can put this whole shin parallel to the top of their mat, and that's perfect, that's fine. Some people stay just like this with it right underneath their hip. So you go to where it's most comfortable for you, and it might be here. Try not to roll the foot in, so you can see how my foot right now is rolling in. We want it to roll out a little bit. And then you inhale up, lift through the belly, and then again you exhale. And you fold, relaxing in on the hips. Lift the low belly to protect the spine, close the eyes. And breathe, stretching out the glutes, stretching out the hamstrings, the psoas. And then you can come up. So that's Pigeon, and you can do on each side the same way. Just slide the shin forward. Notice where that ankle wants to go. Maybe it wants to walk towards that right wrist, maybe not. Maybe it stays in, go to where you're comfortable. You inhale to lift, exhale to fold, and inhale up. So, showing that coming in and out of a down dog. You find your down dog, shoulders back and down. You lift up on your toes, maybe push the heels down. And I'm going to get my left leg up and draw it in, find my belly, and find my pigeon. Notice the right leg reaches long. Inhale up on top of your mountain fingers, and you literally push your heart towards the stars, looking up, stretching through the face. Squeeze the right glute if you can, and then exhale to fold. And breathe. And then come up. So you can hold pigeon for 5 minutes. It can be a restorative posture. You can hold it for 2 seconds. You go to how you want to hold it. Some other variation you could do is you can tuck your back toes and lift your thigh off the mat. You still stay up on your mountain fingers. You still lift through the heart. That just helps push a little more energy through the psoas. Find a little more a deeper stretch through the psoas. Still squeezing the left glute or the right glute, and then fold. Keep the thigh off the mat. So if you do that to one side, make sure you also do it to the other side, and then you can come up. Now that's a more intense version of pigeon, and feel free to do that as you get warmed up and have a deeper practice. Now, if you're watching all of that and you're saying, yeah, I don't want to do that. That's not for me. That's not my body. But I need to stretch my glutes. I need to help, but low back. Good. Let's do a modified pigeon. So, the right leg is going to cross on top of your left. Pull back on the left toes. Reach back with your fingers, and you bend that left knee up. Pull back on the toes. This is modified pigeon. I'm finding the same stretch here and in my glute here through the hip, and you can hold this again for as long as you need to, and the pose can be as big or as little as you want. So you might have your knee bent right here, and you notice I'll turn sideways so you can see the angle changes depending on how my knee bends. That deepens the stretch. So you go to where you're comfortable. Everyone's a little different. You keep pulling back on these right toes. Keep them really strong. That helps protect your knee. And of course, if you do one side, you switch and you do the other. So now I'll put the left ankle on top of that right thigh. Pull back on the left toes. Look up. And again, stretch through the face. Wiggle out the head. Close the eyes. Breathe into the hips. So this is modified pigeon, and you can even do this sitting in a chair, which I might show on another video sometime, so stay tuned for that. So that's modified pigeon, and that's sitting. You can even do it laying down. You can lay on your back, interlace your fingers behind that left thigh, pull back on your right toes, and look, you're in a modified pigeon and you're laying down, and this deepens the stretch a little bit versus sitting. And you're pushing your right knee away from you as much as you can as you pull the left thigh in towards the chest. And again, you're finding a stretch through the hip, through the hamstring. You relax your shoulders on the mat and you release that. Make sure you do both sides. So now I'm going to put my left ankle on top of my right thigh and interlace my fingers behind my right thigh. Some people can do their shin, interlace their fingers behind the shin. And again, you're pulling back on the left toes. The left knee's moving away from the face as the right thigh's moving in. The low belly's engaged, but the shoulders are relaxed. Close the eyes and you breathe. And that is it. This is modified pigeon laying down. So we have many different options for pigeon. You can do full pigeon like I showed with the shin coming forward in between the hand. Pigeon. You can do modified pigeon sitting. Pigeon. You could do modified pigeon reclining. pigeon. Yay! So, I am Jillian with Jillian Studio, and I hope you learned something today about your hips, your body, or how to do a proper pigeon, or even modify a pigeon for you when you're in a class. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button. Go to the website, jillianstudio.com, for any other information about me, my studio, classes, and anything else. Hope you have a great day. Go in peace. Namaste.